Amazing. You have explained that really well. And this just reminds me the Vehi quote, which I will translate. I hope I say it well. It says that collect rainwater when it's raining, right? And it immediately takes us back to that time when the tanks were limited. So they had to collect the water, and the rain was not very frequent. So they had to make sure that they clean the drains before the rainy season, and then they make sure that they collect the water. So when we reflect on this, we immediately can relate it to our relationships. When it good, when something is offered, when something is happening, when an opportunity is provided, we need to utilize it. So I think what you have explained here as being relatable, stories being relatable and creating that common ground, it's really true. And I think that it is something that I think every coach, speaker, trainer, they for sure use this element, and it's an amazing element to use. So the next question I would ask you is, how can we measure the impact of our words in creating this collaborative environment, and what are the metrics that we can use?
Mm, well, if we look at the metrics, let's say as a coach, is one. If I am thinking about the perspective of a one-on-one coaching session, after each coaching session, I would send a feedback form and I would ask the person like, how did like we do? What are the things that like the thoughts that you had after the coaching session? What were the challenges you are having? What are you thinking on a scale of 1 to 10? How are you doing now? Or what are your thoughts? How relieved are you? So basically, when we want to measure, it's always about these measurement tools, that the surveys, the feedback session, the conflict resolution rates, or the productivity and innovation, how creative we are, attendance and participation. Now, let me give a good example from my DOA program, like it's a group coaching program, basically. So if we have around 60 people in the cohort, I would say almost around 30 to 35 people would be diligently following me. And there would be the people at the end of the program who would also do the feedback form after the 3 months program. But the other people, despite like, even if I ask 5 times, 10 times, as part of the program, you have to fill this form, they will not do it. Because if like when I reflect on the experiences, I notice that these people, they don't engage in the classes as well. Now imagine the scenario, nowadays, like we are in online meetings, so we don't ask people to switch on the camera. And when we don't ask them to switch on the camera, basically this person, although the person is logged into the meeting, the person might not be listening. The person might be talking to one person or two-person. The person might be doing an errand. The person might be like doing anything. But just for the sake of the meeting, just for the sake of attendance, the person is there. And even if I ask during the meeting, if I ask to write a comment in the chat, no, they will not write because they are not listening. Sometimes I would call out people by name. What are your thoughts? But then even if I call 3, 4 times, nobody will like respond. So now I have made it mandatory in the like coaching programs, whatever programs that I run, it's mandatory to have the camera on. So if the camera is not on, means like I will put the person out of the meeting, because I know, let's say it's enough and me in this conversation. And she's just laughing. I can see she's suddenly opening the camera. She was in the meeting in the other day, and I had to ask her to leave because she. That's why she is laughing actually. So this is the rule, because usually if the camera is not on, means that you will be doing the things that you have to do. You have a lot of responsibilities. You have to take care of. You have family. You have husband. You have all these things. So this is what happens. That's why we know that if somebody is engaging, and I will also give another. I joined a program from one of my mentors, an Indian lecturer. So if I'm in the meeting and if I'm doing anything other than looking at the screen, If I am not like looking at somebody, let's say somebody came and I look at this person, and she will immediately call and say, if you are busy with something, I will wait until you finish. And she will not continue the lesson. Like if even we have like 10 students in the class, she will wait for this one student to come back. And because she does that, like it's mandatory for me when I'm in the class to be in the class with her. So I think again it comes to when we want to establish these measures, we have to know what are the measures we have to put at the beginning, but do we want to measure at the end, so that by knowing about what these things are, then we can always measure. Even in teams, we do the satisfaction surveys, with the engagement surveys. We do all these things. So basically, the measures, the collaboration or the measures happens only because of these metrics we use, isn't it?